What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we're doing another realistic style rebuild on Madden 22, and today it is of the Cincinnati Bengals. And before you get all excited, before you're like, rebuild of a team that just went to the Super Bowl, well, here's the thing. There was a little bit of luck involved. I will admit, there was a little bit of luck involved, and I was somebody that, on my little, postseason predictions thing, I had them facing against the Packers in the Super Bowl. Not many people had the Bengals going all the way to the Super Bowl, but I can admit, a little bit of luck. There's a little bit of things that could have went differently, but also there was insane performances. So I'm not saying that, they sucked and they just got lucky to be there, but also, why is Joe Burrow not a superstar? Huh? What? The dude under pressure is absolutely a superstar. Excuse me? I don't know if I would go as far as X Factor just yet, but yeah, we'll get more into that in a minute. But yeah, there's some things, right? Like, the Chiefs absolutely smoked them early on, and then they just couldn't do anything. Now, I'm not saying that's, completely, that's just lucky. I mean, clearly, but a little bit of luck, but also a lot of grit, a lot of toughness, and also just a lot of relentlessness. Obviously, that offense has tons and tons of potential, and they kind of lived up to that potential. Obviously, all of the players pretty much on offense looked really good. If they could have added like a true beastly tight end in the offseason, that would have been insane. Obviously, they reworked their offensive line a bit. Lael Collins, when healthy, that 3-year, $21 million contract is just a steal. But obviously, a little bit of injury concerns lately, so you got to keep an eye on that. Alex Kappa, I think his contract was pretty cheap too. Oh, never mind, actually. It was a 4-year $35, which a little pricey considering, especially in Madden. But yeah, I can see why the Buccaneers let him go. But of course, the Patriots. Here's Shaq Mason for nothing. You want to go back to the Super Bowl? That'd be fun, right? That'd be cool. Of course, looking at Joe Burrow, like I said, I think, if I'm not mistaken, just by the naked eye, I would say the best quarterback under pressure last year, but I think statistically he was also the best under pressure. 91 throw under pressure, which is pretty good for Madden's concerns. 87 throw power, just enough, probably. Of course, in Madden, I don't know how much it matters. Like in Sim, I don't know how much it matters, but when using, I can see why somebody would trade Joe Burrow off, right? It's not that hard to develop a quarterback if you just, play it safe even. But 87 throw power, man, that is interception city in game. Joe Mixon, obviously a solid running back. Once again, when healthy, which of course last year he was for the most part. Jamar Chase, the whole memes of go for lineman, throw to anyone. Go for wide receiver, have no time to throw at anyone. Ironically enough, it was wrong and right. Of course, the pick was correct. Jamar Chase was obviously the correct pick. You see teams going for wide receiver in the first round, especially early, a lot. Even, looking this past draft, it was a crazy run on them. But at the end of the day, they kind of did lose the Super Bowl as well because of too much pressure. But at the same time, would they have gotten there if they grabbed, Sewell? Probably not, right? Sewell is a great player, too, for the Lions. I mean, you can't really go wrong with either pick, but, right at the end of the game, it was almost like the meme, combined together both parts to make both parts correct. Jamar Chase burning Jalen Ramsey down the field right at the end of the game, but Joe Burrow running out of the pocket because he had no time to throw to get it to him. I don't know if he even seen him because of the pressure. It was literally like the meme it just happened. The whole thing happened all at once. But of course, yeah, the offensive line definitely better than before. Defensive line, Trey Hendrickson, dude. I don't understand why he's normal dev. The guy, is kind of like, the help around him in, with the Saints is why his sack season went, off. Pretty good player. I mean, it's pretty worth the contract. I mean, it's just kind of like the Bills and Vikings trade with Stephon Diggs basically for Justin Jefferson. I mean, it just worked, it just worked both sides. Awuzie, obviously a pretty good corner, the number one here by far. They drafted in the defensive backfield quite a bit. They grabbed some, I didn't change the devs yet. I'm for sure going to give Dax star, maybe star for Cam Taylor. I'm not sure yet, but they grabbed some guys that are versatile, could play safety. Dax Hill could play in the slot, but I think what I'm going to have is just corner and then safety. Jesse Bates in real life, a very decent chance of him being traded. His ask is going to be really high, and I don't know if they even have the money for him right now, or they're going to have the money. You got to think about down the line, at Jesse Bates' age, that contract's going to be one of those 5 or 6 year, nearly like $100 million type of deals. Is that something that they're going to do? Of course, Logan Wilson will start. Don't worry about it. But the thing that I wanted to do is move Tyson Anderson to outside linebacker, as I think they probably will put him in the box, actually playing linebacker more often than not. And as far as us goes, this would be huge because we actually need a linebacker way more than a safety. Whether we keep Jesse Bates or not, we have plenty of safeties regardless. We lose Jesse Bates, we still have Vaughn and Dax Hill. But of course, Anderson, if actually playing linebacker officially on the depth charts in Madden, is going to be a problem. Look at that wavy hair. It looks like the Aquaman movie. But yeah, it'd be kind of broken because he's a very fast individual, very athletic. But yeah, the Bengals definitely got a decent bit of value out of their draft and a lot of versatility. Of course, it would have been nice to see them maybe, I guess they did kind of address the D-line, but maybe a bit of a faster edge, if you will, because Zachary Carter's kind of one of those, versatile. Is he even an edge or is he an interior guy? So, I mean, it was an okay draft. It was a solid offseason, though. And it does kind of suck that EA didn't see what, kind of everyone else seen with Alex Kappa, because the contract is up there, and it's not even the worst contract going, but because of his rating in Madden, which probably should be closer to an 80, maybe low 80s in general, it's a bad contract, technically. Another reason for allowing this to be a full potential rebuild over the Chiefs, who had a speed rebuild instead, of course, the one game we lose against the Jaguars, and is the QB check-in thing, but is because we haven't really seen the Bengals win the Super Bowl and Sin. The Chiefs win it all the time, same with teams like the Cowboys, so we won't see those two. Green Bay I allowed because we only seen them start to win because, after a few rebuilds, after the updated thing, and they're my favorite team, but more importantly, they are a different look team. So, yes, they are winning the Super Bowl a lot in Sim, but is it deserved? I'm not 100% sure, but it's a completely different look team as they, bolstered up on defense, lost a couple of players, specifically Devontae, and that wide receiver room, man, super questionable. With the Bengals, or with the Chiefs anyways, yeah, they lost Tyreek Hill, but in game, they're still freakly. In real life, they should still be freakly. Adding Juju and, MVS is kind of, I wouldn't say it's like having Tyreek, but it's still a loaded, receiving group. All right, so Jesse Bates, I'm not really sure, like I said, real life, what the story is. Taking a guy like Dax Hill, once again, versatility is there. Maybe Von Bell would be the odd man out, but I can't really tell where their head is. I feel like anything can go, but I also feel like realistically, even though Joe Burrow is still young and he's still kind of on that rookie deal, and Jamar is obviously going to be on the rookie deal for a while, the money isn't going to be there forever. I'm going to sign him. Screw it. We got plenty of money here. We'll deal with the consequences later. Hayden Hurst, Eli Apple, Trey Flowers, all these guys, everyone else, kind of replaceable. And we're in the playoffs. We go 11-6 after beating the Browns, who are now 7-10 apparently. The Steelers, I want to see their schedule because they absolutely should have stolen the season from us, or the, what is it called, the division, as they were 9-7 or 9 wins for ages, it felt. Yeah, 3 straight losses, and they finished with 9 wins. I mean, they had an absolute chance to easily take the division, but instead they lost those 3 games, and there's that. Joe Mixon, the number 1 running back, absolutely impressive. Of course, Joe Burrow's numbers are a little low. I kept all the same schemes just to see what is up, because if I put a different scheme on, it kind of defeats the purpose of even doing the rebuild, right? At least give it a little bit, I don't know how, most people do rebuilds, but I try to at least keep the normal scheme for as long as physically possible. I did have a Cardinals rebuild that I was going to have yesterday, but instead noticed, I was kind of staying in my own lane, really not paying attention to what everyone else is doing, and noticed a lot of Cardinals rebuilds up lately, so I was like, well, we're going to hold that till probably Thursday at least. But yeah, not a great season, to be honest. Outside of Mixon, it was a pretty tame year. A lot of the guys here, if you want to consider this technically 2021, but, we're viewing this as the 2022 season because obviously all the new players, but, worse than last year's real-life Bengals team for pretty much every player. Lamar Jackson, MVP of the league. Nice to see him back on top, even though he's a division rival. Kenny Pickett, Rookie of the Year. So, yeah, a lot of success in the division, as you can tell. The Dolphins looking pretty well. Look at that. The Dolphins winning every award possible. Jesus. All right, facing the Raiders in this first of hopefully many playoff games with, they're a new-look team as well. They have Chandler Jones. They added Devontae Adams, obviously. They're a team that also has a lot to prove as they're in a really tough division, but making that crazy trade for Devontae, I'm not saying it completely says, oh, well, you have to win now, but, it kind of matters, right? Guys like Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams are kind of win-now pieces. Chandler Jones probably doesn't have as much in the tank as Devontae does, but we know when receivers hit 30 years of age, there's a slowdown. There's definitely a slowdown. We'll see how quick that happens for Devontae, but obviously, as of right now, the Raiders got to be feeling high as hell, loving life. But, of course, they get 3 to start it out. 7 for us on the rebound. 10 now versus 3 of the Raiders. Defense doing a decent job. There was a close chance to score right before half. 17-3, 24-3, still 24-3, and a very good performance of 27-9. Very weird score. Maybe even never happened before. Of course, maybe in this way it's never happened, but I guess 3 field goals is possible. Let's take a look at the numbers. As Joe Burrow, once again, in the regular season, really didn't look that great for us. I know in real life his regular season wasn't even that crazy high for statistics, more of a efficiency type of thing. But really good here in the postseason. Joe Mixon, worst game, I would imagine, of his whole season because 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns. That's basically 100 yards a game. Obviously, looking at the receiving numbers, Hayden Hurst actually played really well. Was that Devontae in the blocking? But speaking of Devontae, 68 yards, 48 for Mr. Waller. Defensively, sack totals, Raiders definitely got after it a little bit better than we did. Interceptions, nobody was involved, and they missed a field goal, which, I suppose that could have been 12 points. I don't know how that really would have changed anything, but I suppose. I was trying to think of the Raiders draft, and I forgot that. Not really just the Devontae trade, but in general, it really didn't have, obviously, when your first draft pick is in the 3rd round, they didn't really have the craziest draft in general. A lot of the names are kind of under the radar names, but yeah, there's that. Wow, thank you. I really loved seeing that upgrade. The Tennessee Titans, another team that looks a bit different with losing, going from before the season started, A.J. Brown and Julio Jones looking like a fierce duo, to Treylon Burks, who a lot of people I know keep saying, the pre-developed version of A.J. Brown. But, once again, even though A.J. Brown is a very, very solid wide receiver, the Eagles did have to pay for him. They gave up a first round and, money. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I get it. It's one of those kind of win-win situations, I suppose, for both sides, if you will. But yeah, Tennessee, they love to run the ball. They're not excusing anything. Decent blocker though, so if he lost, but as of right now, I would say it's hurting them, but they're not really having any trouble scoring points as our defense is going to barely be able to hold on, so then we can send our way to the championship round as, we really choked that game away. We really were asking to lose. Looking at Tannehill, 18 for 25, Joe Burrow, 23 for 34. Rushing, pretty good for Joe Mixon this week. As far as everyone else goes, Henry did well, but the backups, pretty bad, to be honest. Hayden Hurst, another really good playoff performance. Gotta love it. Looking at the defensive side of things, Reader, who's not really even necessarily a pass rusher, comes away with 2 sacks. The man, he can do it a little bit. He's kind of there for the run defense, which it's Derrick Henry. It's not many people that are going to have a good day against him in general, but yeah, 2 sacks, we'll take it. Logan Wilson, who's actually developing pretty well here, going to get him to 86 overall, which is not bad, actually. A couple of upgrades in his coverage. And it's the championship round. We're just talking about the Chiefs. Is it going to be the Chiefs? I don't remember looking at the bottom and seeing it. And of course, why wouldn't it be? I will say, though, they kind of, they're not looking that great here. 9-8. Dolphins, who did play pretty well. The Broncos, who seemed decent. So who do they lose? They lost to the Browns, the Ravens, the Chargers. Good teams. Titans, fair enough. Giants, Broncos, fair enough. Raiders, fair enough. Broncos, I mean, it is just a tough division, a really tough conference. It's, just kind of the way it is. But they're one game away, just like us, from the Super Bowl. 86 overall versus 86 overall. An even matchup. Let's see it. Can the Chiefs survive the jungle? Or will we be moving on to the Super Bowl? 7-0. Good start for the Chiefs. 10-0. Nice bounce back. 10-7. Huge rematch here. 14-17. And up by 4 at halftime. Really good resilience by this Bengals team that has constantly done it as of late. And they're going to make it to the Super Bowl in year 1. I mean, I'm not absolutely surprised. But, as far as recent history goes in our rebuilds, the last 10 rebuilds we did or so, I haven't even seen the Bengals in the Super Bowl, I feel. It's almost always the Chiefs. But, here they are. I mean, I've seen the Colts probably in the Super Bowl more than the Bengals in Sim. Of course, I did change the, I don't know if it's called the scheme, whatever it is. I put it into a vertical zone run, as that just seems to get the ball downfield a little bit more in Sim. So, you can see here we had some pretty good receiving numbers. Jamar Chase been pretty tame throughout these playoffs. DJ Reader with another 2-sack performance. Trey Flowers with an interception. Kicking, we did block one of their extra points, which I don't think that really played a factor, but anytime we can take points off the board from them, which the defense seems to be doing pretty well lately against every team we've faced, is obviously a dub. Jermaine Pratt, the true middle linebacker on this team, apparently is going to get a really good upgrade, actually. 2 to zone, I think that was, with 2 to block shed. Can't really ask for much better than that. And then the Super Bowl, 1 of 2. Oh, it's not 1 of 2. It's the rematch of the Super Bowl. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is shocking. I mean, if I were to sim 10 times in a row, I think the chances of the Rams missing the playoffs is at least 50%. I have seen the Rams suck in sim lately, and yet here we are, all of a sudden when the Bengals are in it, here with a rematch of the Super Bowl. What are the chances? Of course, Joe Mixon goes up to Superstar X Factor. And was Jamar Chase only Superstar before? Really? I mean, that was a pretty tame season for a receiver, no? What is this? I mean, it's good. It's pretty good, but I don't even know if he's in top 5 for either yards or touchdowns. Maybe catches, perhaps. But let's take a look at the defensive side of things. Hubbard, believe it or not, is the superstar here. And Wilson is a superstar. Also, Davis Gaither is a star dev. I mean, these are some pretty good upgrades. I mean, these are really nice dev-ups. I almost said dev-ups. Love the dev-ups. Speaking of things going up, maybe get that subscriber count up, maybe the like count up. Maybe you're liking it so far. Maybe leave a like. If you're new to the channel, maybe subscribe. If you're not new, appreciate your continued support a ton. Appreciate it so much. You don't even understand. If I could turn the support into a popsicle, I'd put that popsicle right in my mouth. I'd put it right in my mouth, not my butt. What? I recently watched Jackass 4.5, and I was thinking of the hot sauce and the butthole thing with the popsicles, and got me wanting a popsicle. What? Most broken upgrade in Madden. Slot upgrade, 3 to man coverage, 1 to acceleration. Of course, the AI does jump their man coverage up quite a bit in general, but still, of course, a Woozier looking pretty good for both. Let's see what he gets with slot. Another busted upgrade of 3 man coverage for a guy that's already a pretty good overall. It's pretty crazy. Damn, how good is Joe Mixon? He's got really high power back as well. Oh, damn, he's freaky. Does he have arm bar and balance beam? That's kind of an L, but let's take a look. Burrow's already kind of upgraded a little bit. Did he go up in throw power? Wow! 2 to throw power in 1 year. That's pretty impressive. Wonder if they're going to show any of the upgrades in throw power. Short and deep. Nope. No proof. I clearly boosted him. All right. After all those playoff games, surprisingly not up in overall. 86 overall to the 84 overall Rams. If we lose this game, Bengals fans are going to be furious. I'm not at the controls for this. I mean, I kind of am, but I'm not. So, stop yelling at me. But at the same time, if we win this, it's going to look pretty stupid. I'm going to do 3 seasons no matter what here, but if we win the Super Bowl here, it's going to be like, okay, so you didn't need to do the video. Good job. Way to go. But it's the slow time of the year for the NFL. What do you want from me? 21-10, 28-10, and this Bengals team is not looking back. They are going to get their revenge. The Rams can suck it, according to the Cincinnati Bengals, not me. It's 1-1 now. I need to see another I need to see one more game. One more game between these two. It wouldn't be that fun to watch in real life, but it's Madden. It's Madden. You know, it is what it is. Of course, Von Bell with the Super Bowl, Joe Mixon. I mean, a lot of guys that I wouldn't even necessarily say deserve it, if you will. You know, I'm not going to say that, like, old players deserve the Super Bowl more than young players, but, you know, a lot of these guys have a lot of time left in their, you know, in their careers. I don't know what the youngest team in the league is, but this is probably one of them, right? It's got to be up the top 5, top 10 youngest team easily. I mean, if the average age of a, you know, team is at least 25 plus, this team's got to be there, right? Like 25 plus. I'm pretty sure 25 is probably like the lowest average around the league. But Joe Burrow's hair looking kind of like grayish, if you will. But yeah, doesn't matter, as he is a Super Bowl champion over the Rams. The Rams who found a way in real life. The Bengals here find a way, and that way is just scoring, of course. A lot of touchdowns. Once again, Jamar Chase, pretty tame numbers, but Hayden Hurst, consistently a great player for this team. I can't remember what his regular season was like. Wow, good job, BJ Hill. Jesus, really good performance. But I can't remember what his numbers were like, but maybe we have to re-sign him. I mean, I don't even know, like what do I do? Of course, I mean, I already showed you kind of, I guess I could have, like, cheated in the Super Bowl or something, but we've seen all these numbers beyond. You know, the defense was okay, but, I mean, after that first game against the Raiders, they were kind of letting up some points. It was a weird one, but I can't really say either side of the offense or the defense was really necessarily bad at any time. There was no real, like, slowdowns on the offense. There was no real, like, super attacks. It was just kind of consistent scoring on both sides of the ball. You know, allowing and, you know, getting. So, I mean, it was just good enough of a team to win it, and we'll see if this team can become a dynasty, maybe winning 2 or 3 in a row here, you know, Super Bowls potentially, and yeah, let's see if we can win 2 out of 3 at least. So we had an okay season for us, really good postseason, I do have to admit, but as far as, like, him being re-signed for a 4-year 19 at 29 years of age, I'm just going to have to call him a product of his environment, dude. I don't know, dude. I'm just saying. So, of course, looking at the real-life contracts of the Bengals recently in free agency, you got to assume that this team is just a team that does well with signing and re-signing players. And based on the numbers I'm seeing here, they absolutely are. I mean, there's a couple of guys, you know, like Hubbard and Kappa, but at the times of signing the contracts, they are decent players, and they played well enough to deserve those contracts. So, it's not crazy money, just trying to make sure that we don't have anyone crazy to re-sign like this upcoming season. You know, like Pratt, I think we can let go if we absolutely had to. But overall, I mean, it doesn't really seem like we have to pay anyone. I mean, we could probably spend, maybe even just get one really good player this season. I don't know who that would be, like what position. This team is actually pretty well off, to be honest. Von Bell could be let go. I like Von Bell, but at the same time, you know, I don't really need 3 safeties too much. I mean, we could actually probably trade him off for something decent. It's just like, in real life, Von Bell's, like, interest wasn't, like, crazy great, but at 83 overall in Madden, and you know, he's got 83 zone coverage, 85 hit power, I mean, he's got a little bit of value. I mean, I'd say that's worth a 3rd or a 4th in Madden terms, but as far as, like, long-term development goes and his age, his contract, and all that in real life, he probably wouldn't even go for, like, a 6th or a 7th at best. So it's tough because I want these to be realistic, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, Jason Kelce, just don't see him, you know, he could go, but I just think he's an Eagle for life, so there's just no point in even trying to attempt that. Odell, don't need him. Gronk, interesting. Gronkowski, I don't know what his situation is. J.C. Treader, you know, I don't want to spoil the Cardinals rebuild too much, but I signed him there, but I didn't actually play him at center, so I want to take a look at Karras, see where he, you know, his contract lies, but Treader playing actual center for us would be massive. I think that's a huge upgrade. Don't know how this team would view that, if that's even really a need necessarily, like the biggest need in the world, but I'd be willing to go for Treader, maybe Gronk on a 1 year. I don't even know how good Gronk still is here, but I feel like a year after now, like what kind of Gronk are you even going to see, to be honest? I don't know. A 1 year 9 wouldn't be terrible for him, to be honest. I feel like Gronk plays another year on 1 year 9, even after this season. So in real life, he would be a cap hit of 5.6 mil, Ted Karras that is, and a 2 mil dead hit, which I think this team can afford. So I'm going to edit his pen down to 2 and release him for... I probably actually should wait until I actually get Treader, but, you know. But I imagine with no offers, we should get both of these players. I can't believe, I know it's a 1 year deal, but Gronk, 75 points for a 1 year 9 at 33 years of age is... It's kind of crazy. And I mean, honestly, that overall is a little inflated. I think it's more so his run blocking and his juke ability, if you will, his trucking. And, you know, I don't know if he actually has any juke moves, but you know what I mean? Those type of moves rather than his actual receiving ability. Because, you know, 85 catching, 81 catching traffic, 73 short. I mean, those are pretty bad ratings. Does have a 92 awareness, which helps that. But like I said, 83 truck, 83 stiff arm. That is super high for Madden, and you know, a 70 run block is probably one of the best run blocking tight ends in the game, especially in real life, obviously, but more so talking about the game because the realism's more based on video game now, because you know that's what we're doing right here. If anyone forgot, sometimes I feel like people do forget, in fairness, but yeah, tight end definitely still a thought process of ours. So, you know, we'll look, see if it... Wow, that's not going to... We'll see, maybe someone's fast, I don't know. All right, with pick 32, there was a couple of options. I think if the cornerback's still there, though, he's clearly the best option. The tight end is... No, he's still there, but I didn't really get to scout him because I didn't want to take a tight end in the first round. I just don't think it makes a lot of sense, even though he's really solid. I think you also have this guy, Cody Martin. You can maybe go with this in the second round. He's kind of like a poor man's version of him. He's decent, but he is 6'2", which is kind of like, you know, maybe I should have went with Reyes, scouted him a little bit more at least to make that choice. But pass rushers, Luis Romero is an option. 4'6'7", it's not super great, but an A power move is. And of course, at 6'6", 4'6'7" is actually amazing. But unfortunately, this guy is the juice of all juicers. This guy is balling out based on his potentials. An A press, a B catch, a B zone. I don't think you can go wrong with this guy. Joel Hopkins is going to be my pick. And why? He looked so good. Of course, 91 speed, 94 excel, 90 jump, 90 change of direction is all just great. But normal dev is a pain in my ain. That is rough to deal with, but what can you do? I mean, we're here. Of course, we also have guys like Glenn Bradham, a zone coverage, 4.38 40, which, I mean, is just not reflecting. You know, it's not going to be the speed of him. I really want Reyes now, but, oh, man, that's tough business. I think the Colts would be up for the challenge of a tight end, so do I trade up for this guy? It's not the biggest need, but at the same time, we are in the kind of realm for... You know, what the hell did I just do? We are kind of in the realm of luxury picks, if you will. Maybe a little bit iffy for a trade up for a tight end. But if I can get something similar to this value, I think it's worth it, dude. 4.44, I think that was, at 6'6" for a tight end is nuts. All right, we're taking a little bit more of a risk. 64, Drew Sample, and a third round next year for 40. I hope this guy's worth it because, I mean, he's going to be the starting tight end after next season. I imagine he's going to be, right? Tony Reyes, is anyone else there? Romero's there still, dude. Oh, man, a power move. I mean, Hubbard's on the team for another year or two, I think. You kind of have to start him. This guy's too freakly not to grab. Tony Reyes, welcome to the team. Are you joking me? Another normal dev. I am so bad. Of course, he is 6'6", 21 years old, so it kind of makes sense that he'd be normal, but it's still not any less saddening, I guess, if you will. The tight end we wanted went to the Ravens, start of the third, which means we could have easily saved that third next year. Don't know how good he is, but I mean, at the end of the day, our guy is, just based on his size, based on his athleticism, a nut. And there goes Frank Harris. Of course he would go to the Steelers. He was a very athletic linebacker that I have on my list. This team probably needs kind of guard more than anything, I suppose. You got a couple of options here. And even though Albert is 6'2", it kind of feels like the best option with that A pass block. Everything else does kind of look a little iffy, though. Taj Bennett, D run block. This team does like to run the ball, but, you know, decent in the pass block department. And then Sabri, who is a tackle, but pretty athletic for that size. I mean, they all have their weaknesses. They all have their strengths. What about Michael Flynn? Yeah, kind of iffy. We're trading down to 111 with Miami to gain a 6th round next year, which is about 15 picks. All the linemen are still there, so there's really no point in, you know, reaching and taking one when I think all three, like I said, have their strengths and weaknesses, and all three could be hidden, all three could not be hidden. There's no real way to tell. If I were to have to bet on anyone, it probably would be the right tackle. Taj Bennett is one of the guys, unfortunately, but still got 2 more, so, you know, as long as it wasn't 2 of them gone within the first, 5 picks, everything's fine, so, and there's the last one. So we're going to be going with the Vikings, or ironically, if we get this trade, will be the tackle, which is, I mean, I suppose fair enough. We move 5 spots, giving them a 7th next year, which could quite literally be, the lowest value possible, but it's only 5 spots, you know, you're gaining something for 5. And, of course, with that pick, it will be Mr. Sabri, who, like I said, I think probably does have the best potential out of all of them. And he is hidden development trait. Do I really see him as a guard? He's a big guard. I've seen Alex Boone, who's 6'8". But, yeah, I mean, he's fast enough at 68 speed. And I guess we're going to go with Michael Flynn because we have no one else around. And normal development trait, 85 strength, 69 speed. We'll see what that pass rush is like. But kind of is going for anyone on the list. You know, there really wasn't a lot of DTs. Normally you have one of those, this is going to be a trade down from us, but normally you have one of those A power move guys in the 5th or 6th round or so, and there just, you know, wasn't any. Well, you hope 5th or 6th. There's a lot of times, you know, day 3 could be anything, you know, like we just seen there. The Ravens, interdivisional, but also the only team willing to give us a 4th round pick, so here you go. Hopefully it's, anything but a wide receiver, probably, I guess. Tight end, that doesn't really make me feel much better, but it is what it is. Going to the 6th round, which is going to be a punter. I think we need a punter. Did we let ours go? Either way, the punter we have on our list is actually solid looking, so we're going to be going with him. Wesley Wilson, 97 kick power. I mean, it said elite kick power, but I didn't know it was actually going to be elite, elite. You know, solid. Obviously, that accuracy is probably going to suck, but either way, it's still insane kick power, which if you're in a user league, you're playing as the team, that's really all you can ask for. I had a running back on my list who was decently fast. That's what I feel like this team is kind of missing, is a shifty back to relieve Mixon, and I don't think we're going to have that for another straight year here. I'm actually just going to grab a tight end. Better off just grabbing some proven running back and drafting a backup tight end that you don't have to pay several million per year just to be a backup. Like the tight end we grabbed in the high 2nd round. All right, so the overall's not bad at all for Hopkins, who's a 75 overall. I think he's already the number 2 corner on this team. Taylor Britt is all right, but I don't think he's as good as Hopkins. We'll have to compare them, but I think Hopkins is the number 2. 73 overall for the tight end we grabbed, 21 years of age. But yeah, he is pretty freakly. I mean, he is definitely pretty freakly. He's got possession runner for the catch, no, what is it called? Aggressive catch, unfortunately, but still not a bad player, obviously. 89 speed at 6'6" is freaky. Got to get rid of that number. That is disgusting. 70 overall. I think it's a left guard we need, if we need any position on the line. I don't even remember who the hell the left guard is here. Is it Jackson Carman, actually? It might be. So yeah, we did need a left guard. Doesn't drop in overall. 70 overall for the DT, though. Speaking of Michael Flynn, 71 power move, 78 block shed. Not bad, actually. I don't know if he'll ever replace anyone, but he's good depth. 72 overall for the punter, who... Ooh! This team's got the youngest, best special teams in the league, and I don't know what I'm doing here. What am I, look away. So here's Romero, who, of course, was hidden development trait, 80 power move, 84 speed, 89 excel, 73 block shed, the traits of a god. I mean, it wouldn't even surprise me if this guy's like a superstar or an X Factor. Like, Jesus. Of course, he goes to the Niners, but we're in the other conference, so I don't mind as much. And star development trait. That's a really good player. I don't know if I necessarily say I want him or would have wanted him over the tight end, because even though the tight end's normal, he is 21. So even though he's not starting this year, he might get a couple of upgrades, and next year he'll still only be 22 as a starter. So yeah, that's not terrible in fairness. And the last thing I wanted to see was the tight end that we missed. Of course, he's of course. Obviously, the ceiling's a lot lower on him because, quite literally, technically the ceiling's higher on him because he's 4 inches shorter than our guy, but he is hidden development trait already. If he's superstar, it's a huge L. If he's star, verdict's still up, especially since I think it was he 22. He's 22, and yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Now, here's the thing I don't get. One sec. I gotta back out because I just noticed it as I clicked it. Why is it the good tight ends you draft are number 44? I don't know if they just look at the first number available in the 40s and 80s. They go 40s first, then 80s. Because the tight end we took later is a sick number 88. Just give him 88, please. Damn, Jackson Carman's actually kind of good now. What the hell happened? Actually he's not. He's good overall, but he's not a very good player, per se. We're also going to take I'm just going to make it whatever. It's 2 mil flat, but 2.7, whatever, same difference. Yeah, I mean, all right. I would have loved to see a new edge rusher, but I suppose Hubbard is an superstar anyways. Could be an X factor when the season's over. I don't even remember him having a good year, but hey, congrats on the dev up, I guess. This team just had a billion dev ups for just no reason at all, it seems, but we'll take it. Oh, we did have a punter, but he's kind of old. Sorry, Huber. I think he's been on the Bengals for a long time, though, hasn't he? And I don't know why we have a backup kicker when McPherson's going to be here for another 20 years. Yeah, so we have to pay Von Bell this year, but I think we're just going to let it happen. He's going to go to free agency. Dax Hill's going to play backup safety in both spots again, and he'll be the starter next year. So obviously, normally, I feel like Improviser gives the best upgrade for throw power, but since Joe Burrow kind of needs deep throwing accuracy anyways, we're just going to stick with strong arm, see what they give us, and that looks pretty good. It's not bad. 2 to throw under pressure. Okay, I mean, he's already got it, but all right. But this is what the squad looks like. Offensive line, I mean, it's a whole nother world. I mean, 2021 is, what year is that? Like, it's so long ago. It's like watching a movie that you haven't seen since you were a kid, and you're like, wait, it's been 15 years? It's like, okay, that's crazy. Of course, Gronk's new at tight end. Reyes is the backup, where number 80 now will be the starter after this season. Of course, defensively, still some things to upgrade. Defensive tackle probably would be the number one thing. Cornerback, we'll see what happens with Hopkins. I don't know if Mike Hilton is needing a contract next year, but if he is, he's going to be gone, as he's a good slot guy, but he's a little bit on the slower side. He's getting up there in age. But it's still a really good team. Obviously, we just won the Super Bowl, so the hopes are high, and Cam Taylor-Britt will probably be the number 3 cornerback going into the following season. He was number 2 last year. We got a guy that's technically better, way more potential, and yeah, I mean, not way more, but technically way more because he's younger by several years, but he's still a good player. He's going to be playing backup in a lot of spots. Same with Dax Hill. You know, he hasn't technically started yet, but he has played quite a bit of snaps as the backup safety. You know, he's been number 2 or number 3 in the slot corner spot. So we're just kind of moving him around a lot, using him as we need him. And, you know, he'll get a true starting role soon enough, which being, you know, year 3 of this rebuild, which is ironically enough the final season. But still, and you know, we're not 100% sure how they're going to use him in real life. It wouldn't surprise me if he does get, you know, used in different spots as well, just like in here. You know, moved around quite a bit, not sitting in one specific role. That's the kind of like weird part about drafting super late is like, you know, it's not the same as drafting the top 10 where that player almost kind of needs to start right away. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting their value. But a late first, it's like, okay, well, you can end up taking a guy that isn't even projected to start for a year or two. All right, so we won a Super Bowl. I probably should have showed it, but we won a Super Bowl with the Bengals playbook. We may have to move on from it because somehow, some way, we went from 11-6 to a technically better team, and now we're 2-6. Of course, anything can happen in this conference. It is a nutty conference, but like this is bad. Like this is really, really bad. 2-6. I mean, we're literally 2 losses away from being out of the playoffs already. I'm gonna probably go with Tampa. Once again, I think it's the most balanced. I think it's the most fair. And like I said, it does kind of fit our team needs, quite a bit, right? Well, doesn't seem to matter. All right. I mean, we're not going to win back-to-back, it appears, but a chance in year 3. So pretty tame year. Obviously, Jonah Williams is a guy that you absolutely need to keep. He's a left tackle, so that position kind of seems like a position that always gets paid. He's a very good pass blocker as well. 5-year 80 seems decent. That's pretty good money, 5-year 80. Obviously, Von Bell is not a terrible contract, and he's a very good player, but I think when you have Dax Hill, I mean, you can't afford everyone, right? You just can't afford everyone, and I think safety is not a position that is that high of a need anymore. So we've won 2 games in a row with the Tampa Bay playbook. I'm almost tempted to just cheese it with the Chiefs. But, I mean, even then, dude, I don't know if it's going to be enough. It's still not guaranteed. We have some tough teams coming up. I'm going to go with the Chiefs playbook. Try to save the season without force winning. Because, let's be honest. I mean, we just won the Super Bowl. How are we going this bad? I don't know what the average, or not the average, but what the worst ever is when it comes to Super Bowl to sophomore Super Bowl season, if you will. The back-to-back season is, but it can't be this bad. 2-8, there's no way. And of course, as soon as we freaking change to the Chiefs, we lose. Season's over. It's literally already over. But could we have a consolation prize here? He's so bad. It's one play. Tackle for a loss, a pick, forced fumble, anything. Oh my, the worst part of this is we're probably gonna end up going 8-9. Damn, forget that. 6-10. Remember that time I said I don't see the Bengals winning the Super Bowl often in the game? Here it is. Here it is. Literally, don't get me wrong, our draft wasn't great. It wasn't a great, immediate turnaround from our picks, but, as far as the team goes, I mean, we added a really solid left guard. Shredder is a great player that they probably don't add all the time. Gronk is a high overall tight end. I mean, we didn't make the team worse than the Bengals would normally do. I don't really understand what's going on here. But here we are in the playoffs. Not actually in the playoffs. Going against nobody is who we're going against. Of course, Joe Burrow, number 3 for quarterbacks. Touchdowns are still really low. Let's see. So what happened? So we smoked the Buccaneers 42-3. You're looking at this and you're like, Super Bowl champions just put that up on the Bucs. All right, back-to-back, here it is. We beat the Jaguars pretty handsomely. Then we lose by 14 to the Patriots. Fair enough. That's just a joke. Fair enough. Good team. Okay. No. Okay, I guess. Sure. I guess. Fair. No. Probably not. Just because, in Madden at least, in real life, the Saints are just a different breed when it comes to freaking coaching as well. Steelers, yeah. Once again, I just think it's the conference. This conference is tough, man. Not even the Chiefs playbook could save us. Joe Burrow threw a lot of interceptions. Joe Mixon, worst season, but obviously in a new scheme. T. Higgins, really good numbers. Okay. Gronkowski had himself a year as well. Reyes didn't really play. I was going to say Playez, and I would have had people pausing the video instead of continuing to play as. Sack totals, pretty tame stuff outside of B.J. Hill. Interceptions, Chidobe Awuzie with 4. Like I said, with Daxton Hill, he's not playing as a starter, but he's still getting numbers, right? He's still playing. Who had the most tackles? Logan Wilson, maybe an X factor. McPherson just crushing it. Wilson, not a great year, to be honest. I don't really know if there's much point in looking at the awards. I don't really think there would have been anyone winning awards for us, right? I mean, it's just a really, Higgins, I suppose. Just a really bad year outside of, just a few individual performers. I guess to be fair, the offensive line is kind of a big thought process for this team, big point. And I know we did look at it, actually. I was about to say, I got to pay attention to that, but we actually did. Fair enough. Just a bad season, despite having what appears to be good blocking. I don't know, dude. EA Sim is all over the place. But you have the Bills and the Cowboys. At least it's a realistic Super Bowl situation, and the Bills win. So back-to-back AFC champions for the Super Bowl. All right, let's take a look at the dev-ups. Higgins for sure. I'm trying to think, probably defense, Logan Wilson. And Joe Burrow. I guess his yards are pretty high. That's probably what got him there. X Factor for Joe. Superstar for Higgins, who has route tech, which is pretty juiced. Gronk went up to star. Not that it probably matters. No dev up for Pratt. X Factor for Wilson. No one really surprised by this one. What's his dev? Fearmonger. Isn't that a pass rush ability? Of course, we also seen a dev up for Mr. Trey Hendrickson, which is massive because he's 28. His ability is Secure Tackler and Adrenaline Rush. And then the youngster Hopkins goes the star. So, fair enough. Of course, Von Bell, glad we didn't keep him because he actually regressed what seems to be kind of hard for being 28. 10 points, which lost him 2 overalls. So, a 4-year deal for a guy that just lost 2 overalls would have been really unfortunate. So negotiations, Von Bell is one of those guys. I thought Mike Hilton would have been on that list by now. Wow, Gronk regressed hard. He is still, I mean, he played really well for us, but this is a completely different Gronk here now. That is very low. 79 catching, 80 speed. I think we have to let him go. Jermaine Pratt isn't bad, but at the same time, even though the money is good, block shed's a little low. It's kind of what we're missing is a block shedder, really. We might regret that, but I'm going to let him go. We have 30-40 mil to work with-ish, kind of. I don't know if we have to pay Joe Burrow this season or the next season, whatever it is. I think we can easily fill the linebacker spot, right? Like, that's pretty much all we have to do is fill a linebacker. Maybe a DT, but, I mean, BJ Hill is our best interior defensive lineman, it seems. Of course, Sabri as the left guard. What else? Defensively, wow, this guy's talented. All right, left outside linebacker is probably where we're gonna play. Logan's just so good. We're gonna put him at middle linebacker now. Like, let's just stop messing around. Yeah, outside linebacker, potential DT. Hubbard, I don't like him. I just don't. Like, he hasn't played well, but like, he's a superstar. What do I do? Actually, no, he had a good year, 8.5. I didn't see him have 8.5. Okay, fair enough. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I like you now. Jesus, sorry. But, yeah, I mean, outside linebacker, DT, that's it. Hunter Renfrow led free agency. That's not a common sighting. Edge isn't really that big of a need after Hubbard actually put up some pretty good numbers. Jamel Dean, I mean, we could use an immediate impact at corner, but we have the future set, it seems. But yeah, I mean, there's no real like pass rushing defensive linemen. Not that they're like super common, dime a dozen, 80 plus overalls. A lot of really good guards here, and the linebackers are pretty much just all veterans. 5th-year option for Joe Burrow. Obviously, we're gonna do that right now. I actually completely forgot we have pick 12 because of the season we had. But realistically, the players I have are all late first and beyond because I completely forgot, like I said. So I'm going to end up trading all the way down to, like, the 2nd round. I mean, this is... I suppose it's going to set us up for the future big time. Obviously, in real life, you probably wouldn't do this, but there's nothing I can do. I mean, like I said, I put all my scouting efforts into, like, late first, early second type players. So we trade pick 12, a 4th this, and 90 next year for 19 and 33. We're going to be trading 19 as well back to grab, what is it called? Something in the high second as well. So we trade pick 19 for 40 this year and 35 next year. Obviously, that'd be a massive risk for this team to take, not knowing what the Bears actually would be next year. But overall, based on what I have scouted, it's kind of my only choice. We're going to trade back again, 38, and gain a 4th next year. It's all very fair, all very realistic in the sense that, the trade value is there, I suppose. But, us not drafting in the 1st round is probably a little unrealistic as we had pick 12, but still so much talent here as we're going to even reach a little bit just to guarantee him. Deontay Johnson. You got another Deontay Johnson in the division. A block shed, a zone coverage. Of course, he is like a 4-6 kind of linebacker, but automatic starter right out the gate, and he's hidden on top of it. That is kind of juiced, assuming those potentials are close at least. And we have another guy similar to that in the sense of how beastly they look, a different position. Maybe not even a position of need, but Treader is going to be gone next season, so I suppose it's smart. A's across the board. This guy is nuts, dude. Jay Finnegan has to be a home run, and he is, as expected. Maybe even could play guard, but we don't really need that position anyways. And honestly, there's not really much more we need. I mean, we need a DT, but DTs kind of suck. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not great. This is the best one, I would say. A power move, 33 bench press reps. I mean, he just looks like one of those power move guys that you can grab literally any round. I don't know, dude. I mean, literally, I've got some examples. Well, maybe not, actually. It was CC, but it's still like, kind of the same. I'm just going to take the risk on him just because he's the only guy with actual A potential. So we're going to grab him. And he's actually hidden. Okay. Maybe we actually got lucky. Okay, this is a good draft. This has been way better of a draft than any of the other drafts we've had. Of course, it's the last year, and I don't know what kind of potential they're actually going to play or, part they're going to play. This guy was also a solid-looking center, maybe even better technically, but the other guy did technically have more A's. Let's go to the 4th round, see what we can grab. And like I said, with that running back position, I really think they need a shifty little back. I don't know how good he actually is. See F, but he is fast. But man, I'm seeing Fs from a 5'8" guy in catching. That's like, that's like a no-go. This guy's excelling agility might suck, but his speed should be good. He's 6'1". Boyd could be gone soon. I think we need the running back more, dude. I don't know. I'm going to go for Logan. Whatever. Logan, 94 speed, 92 excel. I mean, kind of exactly what I expected, which is not bad. And unfortunately, every other player we had is gone. But we have this guy, Rayshawn Ware. Not really a shifty back, but a straight-up power. Going to grab him. Normal development trait, 90 speed, 80 excel. Expect one of those like 80 truck, 80, stiff and all that. We're going to grab a 6th-round fullback as this guy looks juiced out of his mind. An A pass block, A run block, of course. I think that does compare to the rest of his position. So that might not even be that great, but still. Need a fullback. The guy looks juiced. Why not? And then we're going to grab this trash can wide receiver to play backup tight end. And of course, he's hitting development trait. I mean, I would imagine that, like, if he has bad run block, I don't know what to tell you. Like, EA just needs to, like, stop because he's a bigger guy. Hidden development trait means nothing if you're super slow. But sure, I guess it's better that he's hidden than not be hidden, I suppose. But what the hell is this? I'm trying to look at the damn draft recap. Draft recap. Look at the contract detail. All the good stuff. Wow. There's some overalls here. Of course, 75 overall. The automatic starter at left out, I believe. He's a good power move guy as well. We needed the block shedder, like I said. Coverage rating isn't the greatest, but his press is better than most I've seen. His catching is a little low. I'm going to be honest. I think this is a pass rusher, but that ain't going to stop us. I'll tell you what. He's going to be our new, like I said, I think left outside linebacker. Logan Wilson be the new middle linebacker, and his development that guy's kind of a freak, dude. Of course, let's take a look at Jay Finnegan. Hidden development trait, 77 overall. This almost seems illegal that he's going to be sitting back up for a year. Like, this is kind of busted, dude. What's his dev? Start. I really thought he was going to be superstar as well, to be honest. Woodyard was a 70 overall, which is a bit low. And his power move being an A was kind of a lie as well. Star development trait, unfortunately. We're number 90, though, which is kind of filthy. 69 overall, fullback. That's not the guy I was looking at. I want to look at the running back. I guess I want to look at both of them, but yeah, as expected. Kind of the dual style beastly power back. And then what else do we have? 86 lead block, 73 run. Pass block is 60. That's not that great, to be honest. 50 overall hidden. Outside of quarterback, that's probably my lowest hidden dev. What's his run block? 32! Oh, well, he's going to be a tight end that never blocks. Like, literally or, like, physically. Like, whether we want him to or not, he's just not going to. I didn't look at his dev because he's even lower at tight end. Oh my god, what a waste. But yeah, I mean, okay, sure, dude, I guess. Yeah. Number 19. Was there any other positions? I don't think there was. I think we drafted what we wanted, to be honest. Going into year 3 with tons of sick rookies. But once again, since it's the final year of this rebuild, it's kind of maybe irrelevant. But I just hope we make the playoffs again, as we got completely cucked by EA Sim last season. All right, it is officially year 3, the final year of this rebuild, as we obviously did it in year 1, which is kind of dumb when you really think about it, because like we didn't really do a whole lot. We didn't change a whole lot, but obviously now we have a chance after a really bad season, surprisingly. We are now going to take a look at the defense, which, of course, Logan Wilson's playing middle linebacker. Johnson is obviously a superstar outside linebacker. You have the star Dev Hopkins, who definitely has a super high ceiling. He's just really solid looking already. A little bit more balanced than the rest. Daxton Hill is the number 1 strong safety, with Jordan Ployer playing the number 2. Very good, man. Very good zone. A little bit on the slower side, but great depth. And that's what Jordan Ployer looks like in the game. That's so bad, EA. It's so bad. How? Why do they look the way they do? They look so bad. Like, I can see if they suck, but, like, you have to if they're good players, they have to look real. Like, what's going on? $15K for Joe Burrow with a QB breakouts. All right, so this is the last year, but I'm just kind of curious anyways what kind of money we have to re-sign a ton of players that we would need to re-sign if we were going for more years. So obviously Logan Wilson would be on that list. A 4-year deal worth about 60 at his overall is still a really good contract, even though he'd be 31. La'el Collins, a little bit more than real life, but I mean, worth the money. 3-year, about $39 million deal. T. Higgins, a pretty core part of this receiving group. I think the person that would be gone before him would definitely be Boyd. Chidobe Awuzie, how good actually is he? So he does have that really solid base starting speed, which I'm going to be honest with you, didn't know that was actually the case. But a 2-year 24 at his age isn't terrible. DJ Reader, another guy that, he's a block shedder type, but a 2-year 19 is not enough apparently. Tyler Boyd, like we just said, probably would be gone. Start of element trade, 28, 32 years old. He'd be pretty bad by the end of that contract. Treader, I think we have a replacement for. Akeem Davis Gaither, that's a little bit tougher. Blockshed sucks. Coverage is okay. I think he's replaceable. Blockshed is a very tough upgrade to have, whereas everything else that he has is very obtainable. Low tackle, low pursuit, okay coverage, I suppose. But, I mean, he's pretty low in a lot of things, and that's a pretty costly contract for, a coverage linebacker. 10-6 at Week 18, and a win against the Jets. Oh, this is interesting. Weak link. What is this? Coach, you find yourself in the playoffs despite fielding a defensive unit near the bottom. Oh! Hey, what's this about, fellas? You want to do better on defense? Really? I mean, I guess if we're going to look at the team, it is obviously weak on the defense. We're not going to argue that, but is it that bad? Let's see. Really good free safety, really good middle linebacker, really good right end, okay DT, really good corner 1. Yeah, I mean, it's not great. I mean, I'm not going to go saying, it's great, but it's good enough. But near the bottom, how near the bottom we talking, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. 12th in offense, which is good enough. Just good enough. Defensively, holy, never mind. Of course, offense. How is this 12th? This is amazing. This is probably MVP. Of course, Joe Mixon, maybe even MVP. 6.2 yards per carry with 20 touchdowns is amazing. Jamar Chase went off. The tight end was decent. Higgins went, he's okay. Okay for Boyd. Pretty solid for Mixon, actually. Receiving, blocking, not terrible. Trey Hendrickson with 14 sacks, 5.5 for Hubbard. Everyone else is terrible. What about the tackles, though? We've seen Deontay Johnson with 142, 133 for Wilson, 124 for Hopkins, 117 for Dax Hill. I mean, I don't really see what they're seeing. I mean, the yards, I guess, but okay. I mean, sure, I guess. But Joe Burrow, MVP of the league, my boy. I love it. As far as Joe Mixon goes, number 5 on the list. So pretty impressive numbers there. Deontay Johnson, obviously defensive rookie of the year with all those tackles. Quarterback of the year, number 2 for running back, number 1 for wide receiver. O-line, a lot of Chiefs guys, but 2 of our guys at 9 and 10. Number 6 for D-line, linebacker at number 6, the rookie. Pretty impressive, actually. And then DBs, nothing. Kicking, not on the list either, which is unfortunate. But in the playoffs, for the first time since the Super Bowl year, chance to become a dynasty, going against the very bad Titans. If we lose this, I mean, I guess it's the perfect time to cut off anyways, because if you can't beat the 11 overall less than you team, I mean, what else can you do? So we had like a 6-1 season with the Chiefs playbook on. I forgot I had it on. I switched to Tampa Bay. Lost a bunch of games in a row. Super fun. But here we are going up against Tennessee. 7-0, 14-0. Nice little bounce back finally. But 21-7, 28-7. Huge touchdown before half. Start of the second half, a huge touchdown. Defense giving up 3. I can see that the defense sucks. Of course, down by 7 here. I mean, we're going to lose to the 11 overall less than us Tennessee Titans. This is absurd. This game is something else, I'll tell you what. I mean, what can I really do here? Oh, the tight end's pretty naked. He's a very fast guy. And, I mean, you kind of want to get in field goal range to try and set up a chance. Of course, it really sucks we don't have that timeout, but what can you do? Probably going to be looking for Jamar Chase on that left side. Maybe even a predetermined with the freaking terrible throw power of Joe Burrow. And he is open. Is he... This game is just so good. It is a very good video game, let me tell you. Yeah, let's keep throwing the ball instead of kicking a field goal that gives us a chance. Of course, we're in the freaking death zone. I mean, did I hit it? Did I not? Who knows? Right down the middle, actually, perfect kick. Obviously, an onside kick, so we have 19 seconds left. I mean, let's see it. Onside kick, full kick power, slightly bad on the accuracy, and by slightly bad, I mean really bad. Oh my God. We actually almost got it. What is that? Don't tell me he insta-picked it up. Oh, come on, EA. That angle. Look at the angle. The momentum would have carried. No shots. And nobody's diving on it. They're all trying to pick it up. Oh, my God. I'm going to sim a play. Watch, they'll get like a 10-yard play on it anyways. Like, might as well have been. Oh, my God. Well, we lost. How many seconds was that freaking... what is it called? Onside kick, by the way. Okay, relax. Well, I don't even think we're going to have a chance. Trash can freaking Bengals on their own. Can't do a damn thing. They're going to kneel it. Be interesting what they do on 4th down. Probably be a field goal attempt if the wind's in their favor. Of course, they're going to punt it. The sleazers, dude. Actually, we probably should have went for a block, but it's too late for that, isn't it? Well, they gave us a chance. Can I fair catch it? That's literally a penalty! What? They penalized me! Did that go off of us or them? Oh, my drift stick is so bad. I actually forgot about the drift stick pain. Oh, I went off my own guy, you idiot! Tyson Trasherson. Although I will say... Nah, that's a penalty in real life. Because if you get blocked into him, I don't think it's a penalty anymore. But he's actively pushing into our guy blocking. That's on him. So, clearly, we got scammed. Actually, that would be a penalty. So, I'm going to go to, like, the 35. That's probably way further ahead than it should be. But I'll go back 5 yards. I'd say it's like a 10 or 15-yard penalty, right, for interfering? So, I'll go back to the 25. Not that it really makes a difference. Are you serious, Joe Burrow? This team is so bad, they won't even let me do the wrong thing on purpose. Yeah, I said it. Of course, it's probably a little bit of a different situation as well, where they don't know I'm going to the end zone in this play, whereas, in that other situation, they definitely would. It's not going to matter anyways. This man can't even throw like 50. Oh. He doesn't even get the jump. Damn it, we lost. I don't know why. What's even the point of doing that? Like, just to live out the potential? All right, headed to the Super Bowl. And the winner of the Super Bowl between Washington and the Chiefs, interesting, is the Kansas City Chiefs, of course. Now, I forgot to sim us losing. I just assumed we were going to lose at some point, and we lost right out the gate anyways. Oh, my God. That's so embarrassing. I didn't even have to freaking force us losing. Lost by an 11 overall team, lower than us twice. That's cool. Let's go with a couple of strong arms for Joe Burrow just to see how he finished. I put the XP sliders on like 110, 115%. Oh, another throw power. That's pretty sick. And it still made him like, kind of a god. So, a little surprised by that. But let's take a look at Joe Burrow anyways. 90 throw power, 97 deep, 99 medium, 97 short, 97 under pressure, 96 awareness. 90 throw on the run, 88 player action, 89 break sack. I don't know if he starts with something like 83 speed or not, but decent enough. Can get around a little bit, move around. Of course, Joe Mixon, absolute freak show that he is. Let's take a look at Jamar Chase, who just got to 99 overall here. Short route does suck, but 99 medium, 99 deep. I mean, I say suck, but it's not, it's not bad, but it's not that great. But obviously a very good player, super speedy. Let's take a look at Mr. T. Higgins, 92 overall, superstar. Very good catcher. Deep route sucks. Short route's decent. Medium route decent. Just catching is just insane. Great release. Just a very good catcher. Very good receiver, if you will. People love him in prison. Tyler Boyd looks like he dropped a little bit. Decent kind of role player, if you will. He lost his speed on top of it. Reyes got to star dev, which is cool. He's 77 short, 76 medium already, which is just insane. 87 catching. I guess Jonah Williams, kind of like a real-life name that they're developing. Turned out to be a really good pass blocker for us. Obviously, run block's still a bit rough. Lael Collins, still insanely talented for us. Pass block finesse sucks, but everything else is great. Logan Wilson, who played really well for us throughout this entire rebuild. 95 tackle, block shed sucks, but his coverage is great. And I just hate developing. I don't know why I looked at him. We literally just looked at him a little bit ago and said, block shed sucks. We don't want to keep him. Deontay Johnson, the new man on campus, already a really good player. Blockshed's by far the best at the linebacker spot. Jesse Bates is an X factor now, which is kind of clutch. Gets Selfless, which, if everyone's got stuff like Selfless, who the hell's going to go ahead and become the good player? Like, he's got Selfless. Logan Wilson has some trash, doesn't he? Mind Reader? Oh, maybe that's actually not terrible. That's actually probably decent. Awuzie dropped in overall, but upgraded in dev, which is a little unfortunate, but still worth that 2-year deal as, he's still very good. The speed is decent. Trey Hendrickson, who obviously did pretty well. He did all right. Did just enough. 95 finesse is just freakily good. Reader, 86 overall, just the block shed guru with 90 block shedding. Insanely smart player. Hopkins never really developed, but let's take a look at him anyways. He never really had much of a chance, to be fair. He barely, starting his career. Same with Cam Taylor-Britt. We didn't really give him super much of a chance. Okay player, though. And then Dax Hill. Damn it, I clicked the wrong button. Dax Hill finally got a chance to start. Looked pretty decent. And obviously with 88 zone coverage, he's well on his way to becoming a superstar, even with ghosty Aquaman hair. Evan McPherson, everyone wants to see this man as well, I suppose. 95 kick power, 88 accuracy, and 81 awareness. But that is going to be it for our Cincinnati Bengals rebuild. It literally just got worse and worse and worse. The team's really good. It's just, Sim was not on our side. It just was not on our side at all. The game hated us. We got the Super Bowl year 1, which makes no sense because we got the team better as years went on. And more importantly, the Bengals never win in Sim, ever. And they went against the Rams, of all teams. It's like they knew we were doing this rebuild. I don't know. It's strange. Like I said, it's almost never the Bengals. And it's almost never the Rams either. So it's pretty crazy that happened. But anyways, the reload, rebuild, whatever you want to call it, of the Cincinnati Bengals is over. Like I said, we built a good team. We added what we needed to add. And we got the team where it needed to be, I suppose. Winning technically another Super Bowl. Well, not another. I don't know why I said another. It's not, literally didn't even win one, but got to another Super Bowl and won one. Rematch was won, and we just need one more to finish the trilogy. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PKR Plays. Let me know in the comment section below if you have an idea of a team you want to see next. Maybe even a challenge rebuild. I'm not sure what it would be, but maybe you have the ultimate idea. And of course, anyone that isn't new and you're a continued supporter of the channel, continued viewer, absolutely appreciate it a ton. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Should be a Nighthawks video tomorrow, week 2. Another rebuild probably on Thursday. Wednesday will be probably Nighthawks with something else. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, until next video. See ya!